Aaron Rodgers, I mean, Jamey, I think he's okay.
He's great. He's absolutely playing great. You know, I think after you saw the Week 1 loss to the Saints, you wondered if he was maybe done, MVP hangover, you know, with everything that happened this offseason. But he's back to being one of the best fantasy quarterbacks that we've seen. And as long as he continues to play like this, he's running a little bit too, 17 yards on the ground in this game. But obviously 274 and 3 touchdowns. He's just a very consistent fantasy producer.
Pete, what about this Washington defense? I mean, we've talked about this defense before and the fact that they just continue to struggle. It's mystifying to me that this defense is as bad as it is.
Well, they were actually better today. I mean, this is a step in the right direction. You hold this team to 24 points. They didn't run the ball. They had 3 sacks. So it's actually a step in the right direction. The problem is the offense wasn't good enough and couldn't cash in on those, you know, those red zone opportunities. And you got to be able to do that. But again, it's hard to play in the NFL when your quarterback is limited. And let's be honest. As good as Heineke was in the playoffs last year, and the moments he has when he makes some plays with his legs, he's limited. And you can't win consistently with a limited quarterback. And they got to figure it out. What do they do going forward? Ryan Fitzpatrick isn't the long-term answer. None of these guys are. They have to get themselves a quarterback.
The nice thing about this team is you're going to get probably a bounce-back game next week against a Broncos team that's really struggling as well. Buy low on Antonio Gibson now because that Broncos run defense is miserable.
And they're hurt.
That's the get-right game for him next week. And so I think you'll see Antonio Gibson have a huge matchup, huge performance in Week 8. We saw the reports that, you know, Ryan Fitzpatrick's still on crutches, so probably going to see Taylor Heineke at least one more week.
For the Packers, I mean, we talked about Washington going to Denver. Then they've got Tampa Bay at Carolina, but Green Bay at Arizona, at Kansas City, and then they take on Seattle. That's a little bit of a gauntlet for the Packers, so we're really going to see how good they really are.
Well, at Kansas City might not be nearly as tough as we thought it was going to be, but it could be a desperate team. This is a big week for them. You know, Arizona is a darn good football team, and if they can find a way to win that, then they solidify themselves as one of the best teams in the league.
The thing that they're doing, which is great, is they're covering up for their defensive woes because they don't have their 2 pass rushers, no Zadarius Smith, no Preston Smith. Their 2 top corners are out, Jair Alexander, Kevin King. And to hold a Washington football team that's struggling, and again, had some opportunities, 4 red zone opportunities to punch one in, but to hold them to 10 points with those absences, when they get those guys back, because now you're seeing the backup step up and play well, that's what you like about this Green Bay team as a whole. Because you know they're going to score points. It's a matter of can they stop teams. Today they did. Will they do it on Thursday against the Cardinals? That's the big question.
When they get the Smiths back, Preston and Zaire, Zadarius, Zaire. When they get those 2 guys back, now Gary is emerging as a pass rusher. He had 2 sacks today. So that gives you 3 guys who can influence the quarterback. And to win in this playoffs, you have to be able to knock the guy down. We saw that last year with what Tampa Bay did to Kansas City.
And Stokes has benefited from the corners not being there. So you're getting
he's the starting corner.
But I'm saying, like, you know, he's now taking on the responsibility of taking the top guy on the other team. Didn't work out so much today because of McLaurin, but still, you're looking at now his role growing, his confidence growing, and now you have 3 corners, 3 pass rushers. That offense, they're going to be a force.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.